Angry guy here. And modern women have reached their expiration date as passport bros leave. Modern women have reached their expiration date as password bros leave. Let's go ahead and just jump right into the video.
How old are you?
I'm 36.
Are you single right now?
Yes.
Why do you feel like you're still single?
I don't settle. I'm very independent, and I just broke up with someone. I'm usually the one doing the breaking up because I don't date just to date like a lot of girls or a lot of people, and I'm very fine being single and content being alone.
Do you feel like men your age want a woman who is as independent as you are right now?
Yeah, because I'm independent, and it usually works well that the guy is independent, so we're not codependent, or he's not dependent on me. That doesn't really work out.
Income-wise, how much do you expect him to be making at 36?
To have a family and raise kids and live comfortably in a city, at least 200K a year, I'd say.
And that's what you're bringing to as well, right?
Right now, no.
Okay. So that's your expectation?
Yeah, bare minimum.
Bare minimum, brothers. So she is independent. She is not codependent. So it doesn't matter what he has or what she has or what she brings to the table or what he brings to the table. But if they're in a relationship, he needs to make a bare minimum of $200,000 a year. A bare minimum of $200,000 a year. And she's okay being alone, but she's constantly breaking up with her boyfriends, and she's the one doing the breaking up. That's not a person who is okay being alone. That's a person who keeps on deciding that no one is good enough for her. She's 36 years old. And I want you guys to look at her at 36, all right? Look at the way she speaks, the way she behaves, the way she carries herself, like a girl, like a little girl, like a 20 something. All right. She believes that she can continue doing this forever and she will never run out of options as she jumps and monkey branches from one guy to the next. And in her mind, she believes that she's independent, not codependent. When she's constantly jumping from guy to guy, she'll be in a relationship by tomorrow if she wants to badly enough. Because in every woman's mind, they know that at any moment they can pick up a guy. The moment that loneliness really sets in, they'll pick up a guy. And in between dating, you're hooking up with one guy after another guy after another guy. A woman can have a different guy in her bed every single night. Every single night. So she's never actually alone. And that's until she decides that she wants to date one of them. And then she plays with them for a while, has him buy her things, has him stroke her ego, has him entertain her. And then she gets bored of him and throws him away. And then goes out and says, I want a new Ken doll. And she's 36 years old. Modern women have reached their expiration date as passport bros leave. She does not realize at all that at 36 years old, she's already at the point where having a child would be considered a geriatric pregnancy. She doesn't realize at 36 years old that her choices are becoming fewer and fewer with each and every single passing day. She will be 40 in a short 4 years, less than 4 years. She's 36. So we don't even know if she'll be 37 this year, or even if she's not. Think about it very carefully, even if she's not. That's just 4 years. In 4 years, she'll be 30. She'll be 40. See, 30. She'll be 40. And she'll still be going on with the same nonsense then that she's going on with now, probably, but with even fewer options. But don't get me wrong, there will always be guys in her DMs like, oh, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous. And those relationships will never manifest into anything serious. And she is out there thinking that she will keep on doing this forever. Forever and ever, until she lands maybe a millionaire and it extracts as much wealth and resources from him. But let me make this very clear. I have guys in my chat right now. I have guys, all right, that are saying, I'm a millionaire, I'm over 6 feet tall, I'm young, I'm handsome, and I'm having problems out there dating. Millionaires. All right? You have guys who are millionaires. I have millionaires on my channel. I have a bunch of millionaires on my channel. Bunch of them. And they're saying, I am over 6 feet tall. My net worth is over $1 million. I am fairly good looking. I am in shape. And I am having problems out there. These women treat me like I'm really nothing. I'm basic to them. Basic. I am ordinary at best. Because most men, keep in mind, in Western society today, women find 95% of men as either unattractive or ordinary, and women don't want to date ordinary men. You have, and this is a point that I've talked about, and other guys are now talking about it. A large segment of women today, they're not even focused on the 5%. They are focused on the 1% and obtaining the top 1/10, so the top 10% of the top 1% of men. They are focusing on the top 10% of the top 1% of men. You could literally fit all of those dudes into the same space, into the same area at one time. It's absolutely insane. They're all literally focusing on the same guys. Guys, many of you will remember I posted a link, and I posted an update about a situation that had happened in Texas where there was an outbreak of syphilis, and it was spreading predominantly among women. And even I didn't immediately put 2 and 2 together, but the guys did, and they immediately picked up on cause and effect. What guys immediately realized was, if all these women are getting syphilis, right? If syphilis is spreading in Texas, predominantly among women, then what that means is that these women are all, check this out, are all being intimate with the exact same guys. Or in many cases, the exact same guy. Because syphilis doesn't typically spread from female to female. It's from male to female or from female to male. And you have all these women getting syphilis at significantly higher rates than men. It's predominantly amongst women in Texas, a specific area in Texas, which basically means that all of those women are literally hooking up with not just the same guys, but in many cases, most cases, the exact same guy. And they think we're stupid. This woman has absolutely insane expectations. Let's watch the video again, and then we'll decipher it piece by piece.
How old are you?
I'm 36.
36 years old. As I said before, at 36, that's a geriatric pregnancy.
Are you single right now?
Yes.
Why do you feel like you're still single?
I don't settle. I'm very independent.
I don't settle. I'm very independent. That's why she's very independent. She won't settle for anything. Notice what I said earlier. They will not settle for anything. So she keeps jumping from one guy to another. And no matter how good the last guy is, she jumps to another guy because she gets bored. Because in her mind, she can keep it moving. She has a multitude of options. The average woman has the same access to men. Let me put it this way. The average woman who is a 3, on a scale of 1 to 10, has the same access to men that a man who is a celebrity, a top tier celebrity, has access to women. So the lowest value woman has the same access to men that the highest value men have to women. That's how warped our society is today. And I've said this. When you go overseas and you see an older man and he's, overweight with a beautiful Filipina or a woman from Thailand, a lot of these women are like, oh my gosh, she's just with him for money. But keep in mind, for example, in Thailand, they love white guys. They like the features. They like the look of it. They like his nose. They want to have those traits they want their children to have those traits. The average white guy is taller than the average person in Thailand or the Philippines or in most of these countries in South America, most of the countries in the world that are in developing nations. The America and Western countries have the tallest men in the world on average. So when you go to Eastern European countries, East Asian countries and countries in South America, Mexico, Latin America, even Dominican Republic, you're finding the tallest, they're competing. The men in those countries would be competing with the tallest men in the world. Women consider a guy who's 5'7" to be a short king. All right. But when you go to a country outside of the West, the average height is like 5'5", and that's counting the men. When you count just the women, the average height is like 5'1", maybe 5'2", and the average height for the average guy is literally like maybe 5'6". So you have a guy who's 5'7" in this country. He's above average. He's above the average height. He's above the average height for the men in that country. So that's tall. Think about that carefully. So you have a guy who's like 5'9" or 5'10". He's a giant in these places. When you consider the average education for an American, and in a lot of countries where Eastern Europe, Eastern Asian countries where education is not valued, a lot of guys don't bother with education. You've got guys who are of the highest level of education compared to some of these countries. And you say, oh, well, the guy is overweight. Well, here's the thing. In Western society, any woman can go out there. A woman can be 300 pounds and she will have tons of men that want to be with her. Tons of men. Tons. I mean, literally tons. There are a lot of big women that guys find attractive still. All right? There's a lot of big women that are still attractive, that guys still find attractive. Come on, guys. You have women who are 400 pounds and they have a significantly greater availability to men than a man who is 6 foot, making $100,000 a year, or over $100,000 a year, is in the best shape of his life. These women have more access to men, significantly more access to men than this guy has to women. Anywhere from easily 10 times to even 100 times. As I said, the average woman doesn't like the average man. The average woman dislikes most men. 95% of men are disliked by women. Most women do not like 95% of men in Western society. 95% of men, and a significant portion of those, will only consider the top 1% of men seriously. And from that top 1%, they're all competing for the top 10% of that 1%, which is literally like just almost the equivalent of a handful of dudes. It's insanity. They're all basically fighting over the NBA when you want to put it like that. That's at best a couple thousand dudes. They are literally gawking over, at best, a couple thousand dudes. And for many of them, it comes down to literally just a couple hundred, or in some cases, not even a couple dozen. It's madness. It's madness. Because there are a bunch of women now, all right? Double digits of women that are not even competing for the top 10% of the top 1%. They're competing for the top 1%, for the top 1% of the top 1% of men. The top 1% of the top 1% of men. 1/100 of a percent of men. And even then, they would still divorce these guys and break up with them and say that these guys just didn't have what they wanted. Y'all are literally out here competing for like 20 dudes, and you're lucky enough to get one of them, and then you divorce them, break up with them, and you have a million different reasons why it just didn't work out. But you're cool because you took as much money from them as you possibly could, so you got your bag. There was an article that said that after a woman has been with 20 guys, intimate with 20 guys, that she unlikely will be able to pair bond for life. And we're now seeing a lot of that based on the behaviors in society that modern women can no longer pair bond. You go overseas though, like I said, a guy who's overweight goes overseas. If you think about it from a human perspective, it's only natural that there would still be women who find him attractive. Because in Western society, these women can no longer pair bond. They could no longer settle for the average guy or even the above average guy, because the above average guy is at best ordinary to them. A guy making $1 million a year that's 6 feet tall, that's young, in shape, has all of these characteristics. This guy is way above average. A guy making over 100,000 with those specs is above average. But a guy making $1 million with those specs a year is way above average. And a guy like that, for a lot of these women, a guy with that net worth, for these modern day women, that guy is just ordinary. And a lot of them would not give him the time of day until desperation sets in, and they want to just use this guy as a plan B guy at best. At best. Because for many of them, a guy that's, his net worth $1 million. His net worth is $1 million. He's making really good money, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. A lot of women today won't even view that guy as like even a permanent plan B, because even a permanent plan B even plan Bs are not permanent most of the time. As I said earlier, oh no, they'll view that as a come up. A lot of women today view millionaires as come ups. And you can see it because they will go get with one of these guys, extract as much wealth and resources from him, and then try to monkey branch to another celebrity. You think I'm joking? Look at Eddie Murphy's wife. Look at Russell Simmons' wife. Tyrese Gibson. Look at all of these women. Monkey branching, monkey branching, monkey branching. They marry millionaires. And then they completely blindside them when they divorce them. And in the case of Tyrese Gibson, this woman said that I don't want your money. I'll sign whatever you want me to sign. And now she's fighting like with everything in her to get as much money out of him and have their prenup thrown out. Because a woman knows that once she marries you, it doesn't matter if you have a prenup. A prenup only matters if it's a guy. It only matters when a man marries a woman, because at that point, most men won't fight the prenup. But in the case of a woman often knows that men are overvaluing them. Because all they're looking at her is based on her looks, valuing her based on her looks. So really, she has no place with a millionaire, with these extremely high value men. So she's willing to sign whatever they want her to sign. Like these guys, Sergey Brin, who married this Brazilian woman. She knows she had no business with Sergey Brin, one of the richest men in the world, someone worth $100 billion. So what did she do? She made sure that he wasn't using protection. I love you. I love you. Oh my gosh, I love you. She knows what she was doing. She knows exactly what she was doing. And she signed a prenup. She signed it, and she was more than happy to sign it. She knew what she was doing. And she made sure that she got pregnant before she signed it. And this guy wasn't thinking. Because now she's saying that she was under duress when she signed it, and she can perfectly prove it. Because the definition of duress is simple. If she can prove that she felt forced to sign it on the grounds that he would, for example, cancel the wedding if she didn't, that's duress. She was pregnant, so she could easily have said, he basically told me that if I didn't sign it, he wouldn't marry me. And if he didn't marry me, what was going to happen to me and my baby? I was pregnant. So I had no choice. I had to sign it. I was under complete duress. This is why some divorce attorneys, I saw a divorce attorney on Fresh and Fit that literally said that if she can, she will literally have a videographer come in and video record the entire signing of the prenup. Literally record the woman signing the prenup so they can play it back in court to show how she looked and how she was behaving at the time of the signature. And even then, it's still not good enough sometimes. Basically, marriage is too expensive. Don't get married. She even went as far as saying, be careful. To the passport bros going overseas and having a woman overseas, thinking that you're going to fly down there on the weekends to go and get the kitty. That was her exact word. Those are exact words, to paraphrase her, to go and get the kitty. Y'all need to be careful and know what you're getting into. Because just because it's better overseas doesn't mean that it's safe overseas. You still have to understand there is liability, and they can still come for you in different ways. You have to know what you're doing. You have to know what you're doing. You have to have that done. I have a package coming for you guys very soon. All right, a blueprint for when you for doing overseas, going overseas, how to everything you want to prepare, not just getting a woman. Like you're gonna learn how to do that, how to get a girl over there. But it's more than that. It's about preparation. Prior proper planning prevents piss poor performance. All right? So you're going to know how to be safe, how to protect yourself, travel, everything. Because a lot of y'all have never even left the country. All right? How to avoid being extorted. I've been there before. I've been extorted before. I've been extorted before. All right? I've been extorted in another country before. Guys, you don't know these things. A lot of y'all, you watch these videos from these content creators, and they tell you all kinds of nice things like, oh, it's so wonderful. And okay, that would happen to that guy because he was an idiot. Guys, you don't know the level of insanity that people will go to. I once lost money because this person produced fake contracts that they literally, it was unbelievable, with fake seals on them and everything else, because they knew I was a foreigner, and I didn't know that these people are crooks. You'd be amazed how far these people will go to con you. So you need to know what you're doing. Looking for someone online, going onto these online sites. Again, these profiles have to be validated. How are they validated? They need to be validated using someone's driver's license or ID by the site. That's something a lot of y'all don't know. You're talking to people, you're talking to so-called women on these sites from profiles that have not been verified. And even when the profile has been verified, they can still be working for someone. And even if they're not working for someone, they're still working for someone. They're working for themselves to scam you. Here's a pro tip. Never send a woman in another country that you meet online money. I don't care how much you like her. I don't care if you've been on the webcam with her. I don't care what story she's told you. I don't care how good it sounds. I don't care how sure you are. Never, ever. Don't send her $1. Don't send her a dime until you've gone over there and actually met her. And just to make it very clear, you should never just go over there just for the sake of meeting her. I'll tell you why. You live in Western society, right? You have access to quite a bit of capital. $100 is a lot of money in these countries. Do you realize how easy it is to find out where she lives? So, for example, you ask her, "Oh, so where are you from?" You should be able to, like, if it's online, you should already know what province she's in. Let's say it's the Philippines, right? So you find out where she is, confirm it with her. Oh, so you live where? Oh, you live so and so. You live in Cebu. Okay, what's your name? Right? Get her name. Try to get her full name. Get her full name. A lot of them will tell you it because they're gonna try to make themselves appear like, you know, they're like they really care. Okay, get her full name. Find out where she lives in Cebu. All right. If you're on a video chat with her, record the video chat secretly. You know. I mean, of course, look at your state laws and everything. Make sure, but that's international. If it's a person outside of the country, record this thing. All right. Make sure that you have pictures of her, because you're going to take that information and you're going to send that information to a private detective. You're going to hire someone in that country to go and investigate her, to go and check to find out that she's actually who she says she is. If she tells you where she lives and like exactly where she lives, that's even easier. So you can have someone in this country do a background check to verify that she is who she says she is. That's like the basic due diligence you should do. Okay? Because you're going to use these things as evidence as well. You're going to cover all your bases. Don't just trust for the sake of trusting. Don't trust anyone, especially overseas, especially when you're in another man's country, because you are often at the mercy of that country and the people in that country, which is why you have to know how to protect yourself. If you go to another country, you should immediately know what to do if you end up in a sticky situation. Always know where the American embassy is, because that's going to be your only source of contact if you get into some trouble, serious trouble. Have an attorney lined up in advance. Have an attorney in the country right off the bat. If that's the place you're going to be staying, you can hire an attorney. Do your due diligence. Guys, this is the end, though. This is the end. We're literally at the absolute end for modern women. Modern women, Western society women. They have reached their expiration date. You're going to see men going forward, going overseas, just to date. Flying out on the weekends, just to date. They're going to take Monday off. They're going to take Friday. They're going to take Friday off if they can, or Monday off. Or if they can't, or if they can't do that, if they can't get Friday off, because everyone wants Friday off, they're going to take Tuesday. They're going to take, check this out. They're going to take Monday and Tuesday off. They'll fly out on Saturday, go on dates on Sunday and Monday, fly back on Tuesday, be back at work on Wednesday. And they'll just line it up like that. They'll just line it up like that. And they'll do that on a regular basis. Some guys will fly out every month. Some guys will fly out every couple of months. And for the guys that can, they'll just work remotely. That's what a lot of the passport bros are doing. They'll just work remotely. I want to hear your thoughts on this, guys. Modern women have reached their expiration date as passport bros leave. These women don't realize that this is the end, that winter is here, and it's going to be a very cold winter. I want to hear your thoughts in the comments, so let me know what you think in the comments, guys. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you like the video, share the video, and just remember that all roads lead to MWA, and walking away, and cheers.